Hope you're all doing well today. Hope you have nothing but good health, prosperity, strong mindset, and a healthy vision for the future. Today I'm with Finn, and we're gonna go through a workout like normal. Do you have a positive message for anyone?
It's all about trying. It's all about just, even if something doesn't work out, it doesn't, pan out the way you want it to, just don't give up, man. Like who knows, this film, this video shoot, whatever, may turn out to be good or bad, we don't know, but it's the fact that we're trying it, which matters, right? And, if we fall off the horse, you fall off the horse, but you just get back on. That's basically it.
Exactly. Life lesson from Finn. Did you like a crazy edit? That's not in the budget. We don't have that yet. I feel like it's harder to find a sense of direction now that we live in a society where everything is a lot easier than it used to be. And I feel like nowadays, no one really has a gender role. They have a gender preference. And what I mean by that is like, back then, as a man, it was much easier for you to be like, okay, I'm gonna provide for my family and then, be the breadwinner. Nowadays, because, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying it's a reality that everyone has the same level of choice, not necessarily worldwide, but let's say just in North America. If you're a man, you can be a career man, you can be a stay-at-home dad. If you're a woman, you can be a career woman, you can be a stay-at-home mom, whatever. There's no expectation for you to take on a certain role. And I feel like in turn, it's made it so that a lot of guys have a hard time to find their role. What do you think about that?
When you say that, the first thing that came to my mind is like, do you think it's necessarily like with the better freedom of being able to choose, which is a good thing basically, it's okay, the fact that we worked so hard to have women and men kind of be like, to choose what they want to do in life, right? And there's no real roles, and that's the benefit of it, right? But do you think with that being the case, that freedom is also what's bringing up chaos? Because like back in the day, there were set up roles and people had purpose, but that also kind of put people into boxes.
Like I said before, gender preference, whatever. I think that's a terrible term to use to describe what I'm talking about. But for the most part, a lot of people have more freedom of choice. It's a good thing. But I think when you have too many choices, you're left in this situation where it's harder to make a decision. Yeah, you can go the Frosted Flakes. Actually, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is my favorite one. You can go the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, right? But now if there's like 8 different brands of cinnamon toast, like which one do you pick, right?
100%.
And I think that's kind of the situation we're in now. It's like there's so many options available for people. A lot of people will either pick none, or like the lowest hanging fruit, right? Or they'll try to go for all.
The issue with the topic, I feel like, is no one has the answer, because I feel like there is no answer. You either add restriction, right? And then after you kind of go back to what it was, which people were kind of forced to do what they didn't want to do and have that restriction. But then also if you let loose too much, you kind of have that. You're trying to find an answer to something that doesn't have an answer, like we were talking about before, right? So when you come to gender roles, or when you come to purpose, finding purpose and things like that, and putting like rules or whatever, some people may not want to have that, some people may want to have it, and that I feel like there is no right answer to that, right?
There is that sense of freedom of choice. It's better for the greater of society, or would you say that because we have so many choices, it's a bit more detrimental to the overall greater good of society?
There are times I feel like there needs to be more restriction, other times there needs to be less restriction, right? Like, think about it, like back in the day, like women, their whole role was to be in the kitchen, et cetera, and all that stuff, right? And think about, me personally, I feel like how farther humanity would have been if we had just allowed women to do that in the beginning, in the first place, right? And like guys kind of who don't want to be in the workforce, them half-assing it back in the day, and if they were the ones at home, if society would drive, right? But then you also have it now where I feel like it's going to, right? Where you have people who take that freedom and that, that will and kind of completely now try to reach too far from it, right? And then society kind of the what do you call, the progression of society kind of slows down again, where you went from being more productive society to now that production is kind of eating at it again, right? Everything in life is about balance, right? And humans in general, nothing's gonna be perfect, and that's why you need to balance it. It's not. I truly believe there's no such thing as one set rule for everything and for the rest of time.
And I think there are certain times in society or in life where the rules are gonna have to be enforced, and then others where they won't. I think now we're in a point in life where there's a lot more peace. Well, subjectively more peace, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
But where there is no peace, then you don't have a choice, right? What is it called? Like, the hard times, strong men. That quote kills me. The hard times create strong men. The easy times create weak men. That quote. But I mean, jokes aside, like, there's a truth in that, and even outside of like male, female specific dynamics, hard times just create stronger people as a whole, right? Yeah. And I think good times create softer people as a whole. Because now the economy is a lot more cutthroat than it used to be, it's creating a lot more like hustlers by force. Like, I was not someone that was thinking about like being business oriented, right? And now I feel like I kind of have to. Like, I feel like I'm in a point now, at least with like my own life circumstances, where like I want to be entrepreneurial. I want to focus on business. I want to make more money. And I feel like that comes more out of a necessity for just survival. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's like, man, if everything's so expensive, like, what the heck? Yeah. I have to make money somehow. Even forget McDonald's, like anywhere really. The minimum you're spending is at least $20 nowadays, like anywhere you go.
Oh, bro.
And it's just like, well, you have two options. Either you can keep the same work ethic you used to have, making, let's say, minimum wage, for example. Yeah. Or you hustle a little bit, you make minimum wage, and you have a side hustle. Yeah. And now that that minimum wage is supplemented with a little bit of extra cash. Yeah. And I feel like people who are noticing it are taking advantage of it. Yeah. And they're doing their best to start making more money because they don't really have a choice. And that's the hard times create strong people. Forget men. People. Like, we gotta eat. Now we face a different kind of challenge, right? Maybe before our challenge was, surviving for the sake of the country. Now it's surviving for the sake of the individual. Because before it was like, man, war, woman, home. Now it's like, man and woman. Work.
No kids.
No kids. No kids, no home. Man and woman apartment.
No food.
Yeah. Basement apartment. That's all you get. And that's another thing too. I think what's really causing people to lose purpose, like back to the original topic, right? I think it's just, it's hard. It's just hard. It's hard to like find your place in a meaningful way based on societal expectations. Like, personal expectations and societal expectations are way different. Yeah. I do think you should value your personal identity more, but I do think the reality is, like, people are gonna expect you as a, let's say, 30-year-old man, right? Yeah. They're gonna expect you to have some kind of financial freedom. They're gonna expect you to have some kind of asset, like a car or a home. Yeah. Right? That's the expectation, right? And it's more than just for the sake of finding a partner, it's for the sake of your own security. Yeah. Or like for, like, outside of other people's approval. So I think that's a hard battle, because doing that now is like, it's like there's been a huge, like, skill increase, right? Skill requirement increase after COVID.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? It's like, before you could survive in life at level like 5, you could be like a little level 5 little creature or whatever. Now it's like you gotta be like level 8. Like, the huge skill bump, and a lot of people just cannot hang in the skill bump. I don't game anymore. I used to game a lot. And I wasn't really big on Souls games, but I had a little gaming channel or whatever. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play Dark Souls. And the first area, I was good, you know, whatever. But then after you progress through the game, it just gets hard.
Oh, yeah.
And I quit. I quit that game. I don't care. Like, what do I need a Dark Souls achievement for?
See, now it's gonna be like haunting your dreams from now on. You're gonna be, oh, you're rolling in your fucking dreams.
Yeah. Bro, no way, bro. The freaking dancer. I went to that boss and she just mollywopped me. I was like, nah, I'm okay. I don't need this. I don't need this kind of stress in my life. You know, like when you could afford an apartment for like 1,000 back in like 2000, whatever the heck.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I'll hustle that out. But now an apartment is like 3K. It's like, whoa, okay, buddy, like, who's paying that?
You know, one job back then could be sufficient enough, right? Now you add 2 jobs, right? And then you also add what you said before, which was the, the need for the same level of work needed at a higher expectation, right? You put that together, now people are like, you know, like, they're discouraged, right?
What do you think about, are you thinking about steroids? I think it's interesting too how popular
Steroids are becoming.
Steroid use is becoming amongst like younger people.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, I think that's also a part of the original topic, bro. Like it's just this idea that you have to be something. And now it's harder than ever to be that thing. So people are turning to shortcuts to kind of try to make the process more bearable, like guaranteeing results. You know what I mean? Because people also neglect the fact that you can train wrong.
Yeah.
Like there's just like the idea that like if you're just in the gym, you're gonna make results. Like no, you can be in the gym and make absolutely no results for years.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's another reason why people are hopping on gear, because it's like, it's guaranteed. So not only you're hopping on, you know it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
You know that you're gonna see results. You know that it's gonna be easier for you. Like, you're gonna feel better.
Yeah.
You're gonna have more energy.
Yeah.
You're gonna be sharper, right? And I'm not saying you should do anything, right? I'm not saying you should take any PEDs.
You won't feel the effects of it and the damage it's done to you until you're already like looking like you're 50 when you're 30, right? I feel like mainly with guys especially, right? You get these people who are thinking that what's normal isn't normal, and then they're like, oh well, I gotta hop on the juice to be able to achieve that. But then they're only looking at the physique, and they're like not looking at anything else. And to be fair, they're all young. All of them are young, right? And they're not gonna notice the effects of it till later. I knew this one kid. He's like 17. Okay, he's having trouble gaining weight. He comes and asks me, he's like, "Hey, do I go on growth hormone?" I'm like, "Bro, what?" Like, you're 17. You basically just finished puberty. You're still probably in puberty. You just need to eat some food.
Yeah.
Go eat some food. Stay consistent. I can guarantee it.
It's kind of hard to take the harder route when you know that, hey, this is right there and everybody's doing it.
Like if you have no idea how to play the game and you just spend a lot of money on that game, and sure, you'll get to high level, but then when you get to that actual level, you realize you don't know how to play it and you can't stay there, and you'll get past eventually, right? If you look for shortcuts, you'll find one eventually. But that doesn't mean that shortcut's a really good thing.
The perfect training style. I feel like there is none.
There is none.
But I feel like everyone wants to like act like there is.
Yeah.
I mean, science-based, I'm not gonna lie, obviously lifting is science,
Yes.
right? But I feel like when it comes to science-based lifting, there are some people that just do too much.
Yeah.
They're like, well, actually, to stimulate myofibrillary hypertrophy, one must angle the leg, and I'm just like, and then you look at the study and it's like, well, if you turn your pinkies up this way, then you stimulate 2% more muscle growth in the rear delt, or the freaking, the side delt. And it's like, dude, just do the lat raise.
Yeah. There are some facts you can choose, right, to go with for science, but like, science is that, it's forever evolving, right? And something like a giant, like, you know, like people say they're called myo reps, right? Where you'll do like, let's say you get 15 the first set, and then the second set you'll do 12 But then if you have 3 left, you have to match it again for 15.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Mario set. But then if you hit 9, then you do 3 again and then 3 again. That's a giant set, right? So, you know, where's the science in that, right? You're just changing up the name of it.
Like there was one video I saw, Jeff Nippard, like he's actually a very well-informed guy, very smart, very cool. But there was one video I saw this guy, he was doing some lat pull down where he was laying down on the floor and it's like in a prone position. And he's got the cable.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I was like, Jeff, bro, get up off the ground.
Dude, just get up, pull that up moment, grab, and then just pull down, man.
I'm like, Jeff, get up off the dirty floor, bro. No, like, what are you doing? Training is generally straightforward.
Yeah.
But blowing up online takes a little bit of pizzazz, right? Yeah. And the thing is, like, a push-up is a push-up.
Yeah.
Right? But maybe if you do a handstand, right, now you're gonna get more views. And that's what people do. They're like, well, yeah, you could just do a fly, or you could do a 3-in-1 fly with the press.
You can grow wings and fly away.
Yeah. I would say it's simple.
Simple, yeah, sorry, simple.
Yeah, I would say it's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
I think the part that doesn't make it easy is the fact that there are other variables that go into it.
Yeah.
Like you gotta eat right, you gotta be consistent.
Yeah.
You gotta train with some level of like intensity too, right?
And some sort of intelligence, right?
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys can relate to the topic a little bit. I hope it brought some insight. I don't know what side it's on, but watch this video, subscribe, go check out Finn's page.
Yeah, I'll make it soon.
Yeah, go check out his page. If anything, I'll put his Instagram up.
Yeah.
But yeah, watch this video, or maybe it's on this side. Subscribe, it might be on me or on him.
Yeah.
And I'll catch you tomorrow.
Easy.